Strict, right? All right, here we go. Sole proprietorships. Grab the lights for me, Nat, please. One of the first decisions an entrepreneur must make is what kind of business organization he or she will have. In other words, what structure will the ownership of the entrepreneur's company have? How are you going to set up your company? The most common form of business organization in the U.S. is called the sole proprietorship, which is a business owned and run by one person. More than 70% of all businesses in the United States, all businesses, 70% are sole proprietorships. Isn't that crazy? That's a lot, right? To me. What is a sole proprietorship? Who can answer that? Raise your hand for me. Go ahead, Brittany.
A business owned and managed by a single individual.
Perfect. That's awesome. Since most sole proprietorships are small, they account for only about 4% of all U.S. sales. Your local bakery, barbershop, or bicycle repair shop are all likely to be sole proprietorships. 70% of our businesses in the United States are only responsible for 4% of all sales. Isn't that crazy? Seems like a lot to me. Yes, ma'am.
So are they not like chains?
Chains can still be a sole proprietorship if there's one owner and one guy running it. It doesn't mean there's only one employee. There's only one guy that has full ownership of the company. So I think P. Terry's is a sole proprietorship, but there's obviously several P. Terry's restaurants. But I think that one guy owns and operates them. He hires managers, of course, right? Now he probably has managers above the managers because there's so many. But I think that would be like, a sole proprietorship could have hundreds of employees if you're big enough, right? But they still only account for 4% of all total U.S. sales. That answer your question? The greatest advantage to a sole proprietorship is that the owner gets to keep all the profits after paying your expenses and taxes, right? Another advantage is that they're pretty easy to start. They're not too difficult to start. They can usually be opened with a small amount of paperwork and legal expense. A sole proprietor also has complete control of his or her business. That's important. Can respond quickly to changes in the marketplace. Which advantage of a sole proprietorship could also be a disadvantage, do you think? Talk among yourselves. I'm going to pick a group, you don't know which one. Talk. Weston, talk.
Yeah.
So tell them what you wrote down.
And then you don't have to argue with it.
Yeah, that's also you have to do everything by yourself.
Group one. What did we get? What's advantage could also be a disadvantage?
Less people working for you.
Not what I'm looking for, but could be true. Group 6.
Making your decisions and like having to be the only one.
Yeah, the greatest advantage is that you have complete control of your company. What's the greatest disadvantage? You have complete control of your company. What if you're an idiot? Right? What if you make poor business choices? Right? That's a huge disadvantage. What if you don't have somebody there to bounce ideas off or to say, ooh, that's a really bad idea because boom. Okay? Does that make sense? The most important disadvantage of sole proprietorships is the yes.
Would you say that one of the advantages is responsibility to changes in like what?
You can quickly respond to changes in the marketplace, or you can quickly change your path. If all of a sudden that P. Terry say they decide to add, do they have chicken burgers there?
Yes.
They have veggie burgers?
Yes.
Salads. If all of a sudden they see a demand for salads, it's easy. It doesn't have to go through several different steps. It doesn't have to go to the board of directors. You don't have to convince your partners. to go that route, right? Whatever you want to do, you get to do. But the biggest disadvantage is personal liability. Liability is your legal obligation to pay debts. Why is liability the biggest disadvantage, do you think? Why do you think that's the biggest disadvantage?
Because you take all the blame on you.
All the blame, but also all the responsibility. Say I decide to open up a taco truck, right? My taco truck that I talked about, or my pizza, yeah, say taco truck. Breakfast taco truck. And it's gonna cost me probably about 50 grand to get that thing started even before I start, right? Even before I start, I have to buy the trailer, and I have to buy all the equipment, and I have to advertise, all of that stuff. Well, if my business goes bankrupt, if it goes under, I still owe all those bills. So the company that built the trailer that I couldn't pay off can come and say, I'm gonna take your house, or I'm gonna take your retirement. Like, I'm on the hook for all bills the entire time. Okay, you can't just walk away. If a sole proprietorship fails, the owner may have to sell personal property to cover debts. Another disadvantage is it's hard for a sole proprietor to find the capital, to find the money to expand his or her business. If I'm running it myself, right, and I want to open up another branch or another P. Terry's or another trailer, but I don't want other investors to come in, right, and get a piece of my business, it's hard to find the money to do that. It's also hard to find good employees because many sole proprietors cannot afford to provide employees with fringe benefits, such as paid vacation, retirement pay, health insurance. When you're running a small business, man, you're pinching every penny you can just to make it, just to survive. Most businesses, small businesses like that, sole proprietorships don't last very long. So it's hard to go up against a big company that can say, hey, we can give you 4 weeks vacation. We're going to take care of your health insurance or pay half of it or whatever, and give you paid vacation. So how does the lack of financial resources for fringe benefits affect a sole proprietor's ability to run a business? It's hard to get good employees. It's hard to hire good, qualified, smart employees. Why? Because they can go work for a big company and get paid more. You know? All right, let me knock out the second one.